Challenges in transportation across Wisconsin is the topic of discussion in La Crosse today. City, county, and political leaders from the area are listening to the issues facing the four major types of travel. Air, rail, road, and river travel are featured and important to the economy here in the Coulee region. Thousands of local jobs depend on these modes of transportation. Organizers say it's good to talk about the issues to show how important it is to fix potential problems.
We bring topics like this one to the Economic Forum twice a year to inform people, to motivate and keep people's attention on topics or trends that are going to have a significant impact on the La Crosse area.
Joining us now to explain the challenges is News 8's Kyle Dimke.
Well, having the Mississippi River and the La Crosse Regional Airport here in the Coulee region separates our area from most places in the upper Midwest. While having air, rail, road, and river transportation helps in many ways, it also means we're more susceptible to the long list of problems facing each one.
When it comes to Wisconsin roads, there are a lot in need of repair. But for the next 2 years, Transportation Investment Coalition leader John Gard says the state will be $600 million short each year.
The needs are underfunded, and the revenue source that 85% of our highway fund comes from, gas tax and registration fees, is declining.
Gard says Wisconsin's crumbling roads even play a role in forcing jobs out of the state.
You need to be competitive in moving products, or jobs are not going to stay there or come there. And if you have a transportation system that's falling apart, that's aged and not competitive, you are at a significant disadvantage. And we're already at a disadvantage from the standpoint of how long your roads will last because of weather conditions.
Similar to the lack of funding for roads, regulations capping air travel revenue needed to support smaller airports like the one here in La Crosse are causing a long list of problems.
Legislatively induced challenges relating to pilot shortages, to airline profitability, to regulations on pilot crew duty times, and also on funding restrictions, which have resulted in lack of funding to meet the infrastructure needs of today's aviation system.
In the rail industry, things are much more efficient today than they have been in the past. But the increased shipping of crude oil, frac sand, and grain recently has companies fighting to figure out how to handle too much rail traffic.
It's going to take a lot of money, billions and billions of dollars throughout the nation for several years. And with that, if the railroads can do it right, and they can do it in, say, the next 5 or so years, what you're going to see is a more efficient rail transportation network that we were used to about 10 years ago.
And for commercial navigation or barge shipments, again, there's a need for increased funding. The cost of boats, barges, and fuel continues to rise, but funding has stayed the same. There's also a big need to fix lock and dams along the Mississippi River. Commercial navigator contractors say that lack of funding is causing the Army Corps of Engineers to do emergency response maintenance, nothing to actually prevent problems.
All right, thank you, Kyle. On Tuesday, voters approved a referendum forcing the state to keep money in the transportation fund.
Speakers at today's meeting say it's a step in the right direction, but there is such a big financial need, it will take hundreds of years to catch up.